Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chris and I'm a chef trying to inspire people to get into the kitchen and cook with confidence. Today we'll be making brown buttered cookies. This will be my first video ever. Alright, let's get to it.
First, put 112 grams of butter in a small pot over medium heat to melt. You're going to want to continuously stir this so the butter doesn't burn. Once the milk solids cook and the butter starts to smell nutty, remove and transfer to a small bowl. Next, we're going to add 200 grams of flour to a medium-sized bowl, along with 400 grams of baking powder and 5 grams of salt, making sure a small amount gets on your table, and whisk this together. Next, we're going to take our dark chocolate, ideally around 60 to 70%, and we're just going to give this a rough chop. Doesn't have to be perfect, we just want nice chunky pieces, they don't have to be even or anything, and then we're just going to set this to the side until we need it. Now in a small bowl, we're going to add 350 grams of brown sugar, our melted butter, and then 6 grams of vanilla. Now this is where I realized I probably should have used a stand mixer because mixing this together really didn't go my way. I used a whisk and like a fool, had all my sugar and stuff stuck in it. Learn from my mistakes, don't use a small bowl. If you do, just don't use a whisk, maybe use like a spatula, a spoon, something a little easier than a whisk because yeah, this was very difficult and I just made a fool of myself. So don't be like me, use something else. Now we're gonna add 1 egg and 1 egg yolk to that same bowl. And thanks to editing magic, I have a spatula now. Made my life so much easier. So we're just gonna give this a nice mix until everything comes together, everything's nice and combined, the mixture is homogenized, and you just have a nice smooth paste. Our next step is going to be to combine our wet and dry ingredients together. Again, if you have a stand mixer, do this and that. It's going to save you so much time, so much stress, and your cookies will come out 10, 20 times better. So just give this a nice mix if you're using a mixing bowl, and use your hands if you need to kind of bring this all together. Smush them together. Now we're gonna add our chocolate to the bowl. Again, mix this with a spatula. You can mix it by hand. All you're trying to do is get everything incorporated, have a nice mixture of chocolate to dough ratio. And now once you have a ball formed like this, we are just ready to start baking off our cookies now. This is going to be wrapped up in a little bit of plastic and set in the refrigerator for 30 minutes until we're ready to shape our cookies. Now preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now get a sheet pan lined with silicone mat, or if you don't have that, you can use parchment paper, which is totally fine. Now with an ice cream scoop, portion your cookies onto the mat, leaving space in between each cookie so when they go in the oven and bake, they won't expand into each other. Once the oven is nice and preheated, place your cookies inside, close the door, and bake for about 15 to 17 minutes. After 17 minutes, remove your cookies and immediately sprinkle them with some flaky sea salt. Allow your cookies to cool down in a sheet tray for about 5 minutes, and then after that 5 minutes, transfer this somewhere to cool down completely. Now what you're going to be left with are these decadent and sexy brown buttered chocolate chip cookies that are just waiting for you to devour them. Or share them with your friends if you want. That's always an idea.
Well, that's it for me. Feel free to leave a comment down below, tell me what you liked or disliked about the video. It'll help me improve my channel a lot. Alright, until next time, stay cooking.